Good morning, students. So today we are going to start with the third unit, and in the very first part of third unit we are going to study about laws of chemical combination. There are basically two laws which we are going to discuss in this chapter. One is law of conservation of mass and the other is law of constant proportions. Okay, so first of all, in the olden time, how this concept of atom came. Okay, so first of all, what our philosophers they said about atom, that all thing we are going to discuss here. So first of all, the idea of divisibility of matter was considered long back in India around 500 BC. An Indian philosopher Maharshi Kanad, postulated that if we go on dividing matter, he said matter as padarth. Okay, just like in Hindi we say it is padarth. So what he said, Maharshi Kanad, that if we go on dividing matter, we shall get smaller and smaller particles. Ultimately, a stage will come when we shall come across the smallest particles, beyond which further division will not be possible. Okay, so Maharshi Kanad said that there is existence of the smallest particles which cannot be further divided. And what name he gave to this particular thing? He said that this particular portion which cannot be further subdivided is called Parmanu. Okay, so this was said by Maharshi Kanad around 500 BC. Okay, now another Indian philosopher, Pakuda Katyayana, Pakuda Katyayama, he elaborated this doctrine. Doctrine means whatever he said, he researched on that particular thing, and he said that these particles normally exist in a combined form, and when they combine with other things, then the different forms of matter are possible. Okay, now at the same time, in that particular same time, two Greek philosophers, Democritus and Leucippus, they suggested that if we go on dividing matter, a stage will come when particles obtained cannot be divided further. Democritus called these indivisible particles as atoms. So first of all, atom word came like this. Okay, now another scientist, his name is Antoine L. Lavoisier, or we simply say Lavoisier. Antoine L. Lavoisier, he laid the foundation stone of chemical sciences by establishing two important laws of chemical combinations. So Antoine L. Lavoisier is responsible for framing of these two important laws of chemical combination. Those two important laws are law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportions. Okay, so here what is given to us? We are given an equation. These two things which combine, they are called reactants, and these two things which are formed, they are called products. Okay, so this is the reaction. When this reaction occurs according to these two laws. These two laws are taken into consideration during any chemical combination. Okay, so now what are these two laws? This we are going to study. So first law is law of conservation of mass. Okay, now with the help of this activity we will see this. First of all, what we will do, we will take two compounds, barium chloride and sodium sulfate. Okay, barium chloride and sodium sulfate. Barium chloride we are denoting it with X, and sodium sulfate we are denoting it with Y. And then we will prepare its 5% solution. 5% solution, we will, if we are taking the 5 gram of barium chloride, then we will add 95 gram of water in that. Okay, so we have to prepare 10 ml of all. So 5% means if 10 ml is total solution, then 5% is present in that of the solute. Okay, in 100 ml 5 ml is of the solute, so in 10 ml 0.5 ml will be there. Okay, so this way we will prepare 5% solutions of these two substances. Now what we will do, this is called conical flask. This type of apparatus is called conical flask. You will see in chemistry lab. Now what we are going to do, we will take Y solution in conical flask. So in conical flask we have taken this solution Y. Okay, and just like test tube, there is a very small tube, and this tube is known as ignition tube. Shape is exactly like test tube, but its size is very small. Okay, so this small sized ignition tube we will take, and we will put the other component, other reactant. So X reactant we will take in ignition tube. Okay, now we will not mix it first. What we are going to do, we will hang it with the help of thread, and we will not allow the mixing first, and then we will close it by cork. Okay, now we will weigh the contents. We will weigh this whole apparatus. What is there? There is this X and Y plus small ignition tube plus conical flask plus plus cork along with thread. This whole thing will be measured. Its weight will be taken. Suppose its weight is X, small x. Now what we are going to do, we are going to tilt it, this thread. Okay, with the help of this thread we are, or what we can do, we can turn this particular conical flask so that this X and Y solutions, they get mixed. Okay, now when these are mixing together, then there will be some chemical reaction and new products will be formed. Now new products have formed. How we will confirm it? Previously both the solutions X and Y will be colorless, they will look like water, but when they will combine, then the whole thing will look like milky. So that white substance has been formed. Because of formation of this white substance, we will say that some new products have been formed, and so a chemical reaction has occurred. Now once we have allowed the mixing and milky solution is obtained, then again we will weigh the whole thing. That weight will also be X. Okay, means the total weight of reactants will be same as the total weight of products. Okay, now let us discuss this again. What are the conclusions? So when we did this whole thing, then we will find this conclusion. What is the conclusion? A chemical reaction occurs in the conical flask. So when we allow X and Y to mix, then what happens? A chemical reaction occurs in the conical flask. Now why we have put cork? We have tightened the mouth of conical flask with the help of cork, so that if there is formation of some gas, then gas should remain inside. In case gas is formed and that goes outside, then total weight of product formed will differ. Okay, so for that purpose we have tightened it with the help of cork. Now what was the main conclusion which we found? We found that total mass of the new products formed is exactly same as that of the reactants. So how can we state now law of conservation of mass? So law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. So whenever there is a chemical reaction, then mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. In case you don't want to say this wording, then what you can say, total mass of products is always same as the total mass of reactants. Okay, Now see, here in this diagram we have taken some other substances. Now here we have taken calcium chloride solution and sodium sulfate solution. Okay, so we weighed it first and then we found the total weight of reactants. Then what we did, we allowed the mixing of the two components. So when these two components got mixed, then new substances formed. Then for products formed, we again found the weight. So total weight was exactly same as the total weight before reaction. So it means this reaction follows the law of conservation of mass. Now let us come to second law. Second law is law of constant proportions. So this law was stated by Proust. So Proust gave this law. What is the law? In a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportions by mass. Okay, so this is the law. Means it is just like the definition of compound. Okay, what is the definition of compound? A compound is always formed by the combination of its elements in a fixed ratio by mass. So you can write that definition also here. That will also serve the purpose. Okay. Now, for example, if we are talking about water, then the ratio of mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen is always 1:8. Okay. So whatever the source of water, this ratio will remain same. It will be always 1:8. Now, for example, if 9 gram of water is decomposed, then it will give 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. Similarly, if we talk about ammonia, formula of ammonia is NH3. Okay, and formula of water is H2O. Okay. Now in this case, in case of ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen are always present in the ratio 14:3 by mass, whatever may be the method or the source from which it is obtained. Okay. Now see, in this diagram you can see this is one molecule of hydrogen, H2. This is one H, this is second H, and there is bond between those two hydrogens and it forms H2 molecule. So we have taken two molecules of hydrogen, they combine with one molecule of oxygen and then they form two molecules of water. This type of two molecules are formed. Okay. So the reaction becomes 2H2 plus O2. It gives 2H2O. Now in this chapter you have to learn the atomic masses. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Atomic mass of molecular mass of H2O is 18. So 2H2 means 4 gram of hydrogen combines with 1 molecule of O2 means 32 gram of oxygen, and there is formation of 2 molecules of H2O means 36 gram of H2O is formed. So what is the ratio? Ratio comes out to be 1:8. 4:32 means 1:8 is the ratio. Okay. Now whatever we have discussed, on the basis of that you have to solve these assignments. Okay. Thank you.